Hi lovelies, welcome back to Post-Traumatic Bliss. This is Kanini here. Today we are answering the question, would you stay or would you leave your partner if something tragic was to happen to them? And the next couple, we are going to look at Turia Pitt and her husband, Michael Hudson, and why he stayed after her tragic fire that burnt 70% of her body. And are you deserving of love? I find that if you cannot stay, okay, seriously, if you cannot stay, if something tragic were to happen to your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, probably you're not deserving of love. Yup, I said it. Some people are just there for the good times. And these are frenemies, people who are just good there for the good times, and then they are not there when bad times happen. We already did an episode on frenemies, and these are people that we categorize as frenemies. So anyway, let's go back to September 2011. Turia Pitt is only 24 years old. Only 24, okay? She has her whole life ahead of her. She has graduated. She's working as a mining engineer. She has a boyfriend. Whoa, she's looking for this, life ahead of her. And then she's trapped into a bushfire. And what her doctor says she was cooked. You know, cooking. I know you're familiar with the process of preparing a dish.
She was literally cooked. I've not had a patient with such a deep burn survive. Not. Ever.
And we're talking about 70% burns. Whew, man. Now, what does her boyfriend do after the fire? What is his mindset? Where is he at? This is what he said in an interview.
I thought if she can walk in agony, and do all the physio that they're asking her, I can be there in the morning and give her breakfast and be there all the time. That's easy for me.
What strikes me about Michael Hudson is that he never once thought about leaving her. He never once said, this might not work for me. I'm a bounce. He sees her and he's like, she's fighting for her life and I can just be here to support her and help her. And then he proposes to her, marries her, and has a family with her. That's how committed this guy was to her. He's very rare. A lot of men would just bounce. He had the chance. He had not proposed to her. They were just boyfriend and girlfriend. He could have just bounced. He didn't have to stay. He stayed, married her, had children with her, supported her throughout her life. One time I saw her video, she called herself the trophy wife because he does everything for her. She is indeed a trophy wife. And I mean, he is deep. And so my challenge to you is don't be shallow. Ooh, I said it. Don't be shallow. Love more deeply. Hate a little less. Don't be shallow. Beautiful things are revealed to people who go in deep, who have depth. And that's why we do meditation, because it draws us inside. And when it draws us inside, it creates depth. The second thing I would want you to get from this video, if you can get this, I'm done. Flip the switch into a successful mindset and stay there, be consistent, and keep going and never look back. I always see this Bible verse of Lot and his family. They're getting out of Sodom and Gomorrah because Sodom, God tells them, just leave Sodom because I'm just going to rain fire on this place. Just leave Sodom and Gomorrah and don't look back. And Lot's wife, she looks back and she turns into this pillar of salt. People get stuck when they go through trauma and then they keep replaying the trauma over and over again in their mind. They keep dwelling on the negative, what could have been, what wasn't, all these things that could have happened, didn't happen, or something they wish could have happened and it never happened, or something they wanted to happen and never happened, and then they regret, they get sucked into this negative mind. Instead of leaving Sodom and Gomorrah and just getting into a new place in their life, they stay stuck in their life Just like Lot's wife, she got stuck and she turned into a pillar of salt. And it probably is a metaphor that she never really moved forward in her life, or she decided to not leave Sodom and Gomorrah and never really changed her ways. Anyway, back to Turia Pit. She goes through this fire, right? And you can see her fighting for her life. She has to do all these exercises when she is in deep pain, because the doctor tell her, you must do this. If you want to survive and get your life together, you have to keep exercising so that, your skin doesn't stay too stretched. She has to do all these painful things.
I kept saying this to myself on repeat. What can I do today? Every time I felt like the journey ahead of me was too hard or too big, I brought it back to the moment right in front of me. What can I do today? What can I do right now? What tiny step can I take forward? That's what I asked myself every day in my recovery, and whenever my Ironman goal felt like a pipe dream. When the gap between where you are now and where you want to be is too big, too overwhelming, too gigantic, bring it back to now, to this moment. Forget about that big end result. Just ask yourself, what's that one small step I could take today?
She has to tune in her winning mindset and turn off negative thoughts. Because if she listens to the negative thoughts, she knows she will not go anywhere. She understands that in her mind, that if she remembers the fire, all the things that happened, how she was burnt, not being recognizable, if she keeps dwelling on that, she knows that she will not get to where she wants to be. So there's always a gap. There is where you are right now, and there's where you want to be. And there's always that gap, right? And that gap that's separating you from success is your mindset. And your emotional signature. You can stay in regret, or you can accept this has happened and start moving forward. Or you stay in regret and you stay shallow and you never rise up to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You can stay in regret, in bitterness, in frustration, all these things. And when we talk about manifesting your dreams, we are talking about you changing this emotional signature of resentment, anger, all that. And then we are talking about having a winning mindset, creating a winning mindset. Like, I'ma keep going forward no matter what. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to keep loving myself, motivating myself, just doing what I need to do to just keep going forward. And this is the mindset that Turia Pete has. And you can see she has, if you go to her Instagram, she has over 1 million followers. This girl is a fighter from day one. She survives it and she keeps going. And she has had children just like any other woman. She has become a great mom. She has written books, has done talk shows. This was a person who had been given a death sentence by the bushfire, and she manifested a new life for herself. And she says she doesn't wake up every day motivated. She has some days where she's like blue, and there are things she still can't do. She can't regulate her body temperature. She can't chop off some things. There are things that she still cannot do, but man, does she try. Boy, can't you give her credit for that. She tries every day, keeps consistent. She affirms her self-worth, her self-love, even in the face of adversity. She keeps going. She flipped the switch and she decided, I'm only going to listen to the thoughts that push me forward. I am only going to listen to the thoughts that motivate me. I'm going to listen to the thoughts that tell me I am beautiful, I am lovable, I am a great mom, I am fit, I am healthy, I am strong.
Oh, makeover, eh?
Yeah, makeover.
Oh, well done. Are you happy?
Yeah.
I can do it. She flipped that switch. So I am telling you today it's windy, by the way. If you hear my chimes and the door banging, we have the Santa Ana winds at this time of the year. I believe in manifesting. You can create the life that you want if you know that you need to flip the switch and stay positive and keep growing. Trust me. So, well, thanks again for tuning in. My name is Kanini, and this is Post-Traumatic Bliss. There is life after trauma. People talk about post-traumatic stress all the time. There is post-traumatic growth. There is post-traumatic thriving. And there is post-traumatic bliss, the creme de la creme, where you just live in bliss. If you follow me, I'll show you the way. Thanks again, and until next time, flip that switch to greatness.